You know, I remember when I was a young guy and a student, okay? And I remember struggling. I remember being hungry, actually hungry. I didn't get any welfare, didn't get any food stamps. I availed myself of what aid there was in the form of loans and scholarships and such, but there wasn't much. Generally speaking, I had to pay my own way through university. I had to work 2 jobs and go to school full time. It wasn't easy, right? I worked my ass off. And what did I get in return? In addition to a degree in an actually useful subject that led to a good career, well, I got self-discipline. I got a work ethic, right? I learned how to really, really take care of myself and be independent. And that's part of what university should be about. Of course, that should be part of all kids' childhoods as well, right? And if you were to go back, say, to the 19th century, kids worked. Yeah, we got those pesky child labor laws these days, and I think some of those are okay, right? We don't want to have, 5-year-olds crawling around in the inner guts of complex machines where they could get chewed up, right? We don't want to have them climbing up chimneys and being chimney cleaners and chimney sweeps and such. That's bad, okay? I agree. We don't want kids crawling around inside mines, okay? These are bad things, all right? I think that, for the most part, child labor laws are good. But, yeah, I think people have kind of taken it too far insofar as trying to make life easy for kids, right? A lot of kids these days have never had a job. Even when they enter university, a lot of them have never mowed lawns. A lot of them have never actually done chores at home for an allowance. I mean, in my house, my father was like, ugh, what am I giving you money for? Yeah, you did some work, but God damn it, I pay for your roof over your head. I pay for your food. What am I giving you money for? I mean, he was very, very reticent to give us any money, which actually was a bad thing because you need to teach your kids how to be self-reliant. You need to teach them the idea that working gets rewards, right? It's not about giving them money so that they can buy stuff. You can buy everything they need. The reason that you give kids an allowance is in exchange for chores and duties so that you teach them a good work ethic, right? So that you teach them that if you work hard, you will be rewarded, right? This is part of raising self-sufficient children to become self-sufficient adults, right? So I think some of the coddling of kids these days, it's going a little too far, right? And again, I think the child labor laws are good, but I think that they're a little too extreme. Like, for example, if I remember correctly, like the youngest age you can start working is 14, and you got to get signed permission from your parent, and the employer has to sign, if I recall. Yeah, I think that might be a little too old. Maybe make it 12, right? Maybe something like that. And people are like, oh, you make it too young. All these little kids, they can't handle work. Oh, and they've got homework. Really? Have you looked at the state of education in America? You think that them doing homework is going to be more important to them than having some kind of actual strong work ethic, right? Where they're actually motivated to work and do something productive, which is what working at a young age and earning money teaches them. I mean, a lot of these kids that go to university, they've never had jobs. They don't know what it means to produce anything in the real world. They have these abstract ideas in their head. I should be able to do whatever I want. I mean, talk about entitled, right? I should be able to study puppetry. Right. I'll be the next Jim Henson, and I'll make my own Kermit puppet, but I won't call him Kermit. I'll be revolutionary in my puppetry, right? I mean, these kids have crazy ideas these days. Crazy ideas because they've never had to produce anything in the real world. So they think they can do whatever they want, and their parents have encouraged this. Well, of course, what this leads to in reality is hunger. You don't eat. You don't have a home. And that happening is a good lesson, too, because when you find out what reality is actually like, when you go hungry, when you don't have a home, you learn, hey, the real world is a bear, man. It's a difficult place. It's hard to survive in the real world. We human beings, we got a tough lot in life. Boy, I'm gonna have to roll up my shirt sleeves and work my butt off if I want to survive in the real world. No, that's apparently not the lesson that we want to teach young people. Apparently not. And I say that for a number of reasons. Obviously, the spate of useless subjects that are taught in universities, like TV and gender studies and race studies, for one. But the other is this article I came across. This is just depressing to me. So, UC Irvine opens expansive food pantry as more college students struggle with hunger. Yeah. You know what most people do when they struggle with hunger? They get a job. They don't reach the point where they're struggling with hunger, right? They don't reach the point where they have to struggle and have no food to eat because, oh, geez, I might run out of food. I better go get a job and work. Apparently not. Apparently, if you're a student, you shouldn't have to work. There's that wonderful word, shouldn't. I shouldn't have to have a job because the ideal is that I get to devote all my time to studying gender and race. Yeah. The should. You gotta love idealism, right? Let's not live in the real world. Let's live in the world we think should exist. Meanwhile, you go hungry because that's not how the world actually is. And of course, this food pantry was set up by a bunch of virtue signaling morons who hate to see people suffer, hate to see kids hungry, and they just want that feel-good rush of dopamine that they get when they help people. It hurts them in the future, enables them, gets them hooked on free goodies that they're not going to get in the real world. But oh wait, all we have to do is vote for Bernie and we'll continue to get free stuff. Yeah, I bet she's a Democrat, this broad in this picture. All right, so UC Irvine student Ernst Devin Rankin grew. Oh, okay. Oh boy, we got to touch your heart story here. So we're gonna have a story here. Somebody didn't get enough food, poor person, to justify this food bank, right? Who knows what's paying for this, huh? Is it donations or is it your tax dollars? I don't know. So, UC Irvine student Ernst Devin Rankin, interesting name, grew up in Anaheim on one meal a day as his disabled parents, who had 6 children, struggled to stretch food stamps and disability payments. Very interesting. Disabled parents, huh? It seems like they weren't so disabled that they couldn't make 6 kids. See, this is what I'm talking about, okay? So we're supposed to pay for the mistakes of his parents. Now, you might say to yourself, well, it's not his fault. It's not his mistakes. He shouldn't have to suffer. Well, who should? The rest of us? You see, this is an inability to delay gratification. This is an inability to look at the potential consequences of your actions, right? I mean, if I give these people food, what's going to happen? Oh, they're going to have food now, and I'm going to feel gratified, and them, well, they're going to eat. Yeah, today. What's going to happen tomorrow? They're going to come back for more food, right? They're not going to go out and get a job. They're not going to learn how to take care of themselves. They're not going to learn to hustle. Are they in this situation because of their mistakes, their actions, or are they in this situation because of no fault of their own? I don't know. I just see somebody that needs help, so I'm going to help them and be damned with whether or not it actually hurts them in the future, and the rest of us for that matter. So when Ernst got to college, he could only afford the cheapest dining plan. Oh my God, it's the end of the world! God forbid anybody on this planet actually have it hard, right? God forbid! Yeah, there was a time we were running around, we were freaking nomads, digging up tubers and roots and eating them raw, right? And having to hunt all day and expend tons and tons of calories. And maybe we got to kill and had something to eat, and maybe we didn't. Life has been extremely difficult. It's amazing that we've survived this long, but suddenly, he has food, but it's not the best food, and it's not the most food. He got the cheapest food plan. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. So, the 1,800 square foot, fresh, basic needs hub houses shelves of canned and dried foods, coolers for refrigerated and frozen items. Wow. So not only do you have dry goods, but you've got fresh produce. Oh, lovely. Lovely. That's got to cost a pretty penny, don't you think? That's pretty expensive. Nothing's more expensive than that which is free. Toiletries and kitchenette, complete with blenders, a convection oven, a microwave, and a coffee machine. Really? So it's like kind of a restaurant, too? I'm going to come in, I'm going to get some food, I'm going to nuke it in the microwave or put it in the convection oven, and I'm going to get some free coffee, too. Oh, do you even have to show student ID to get in here, huh? Can I just walk in and get free shit? See, the problem with something like this is anybody can get it so long as they're a student. And they probably don't even need to show ID. Just like when these, people go to vote who may or may not be citizens, they don't have to show ID either. Oh, just go vote, especially in California. Oh, but it's not a problem. Voter ID laws. Oh, no, we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, you got students going in here that probably don't need the food, but hey, I mean, I don't need it. I can afford my own food in my own house and everything else, but if somebody offers me free stuff, guess what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. And that's everybody on this planet is going to take the free stuff. Of course. You could be Bill Gates. Offer him anything for free. He'll take it, right? Here, Bill, want an apple? Well, I got $58 billion, but it's free, so why not? What are you thinking? The people, you're helping a few people, but you're wasting a lot more money, and you're putting a heavier burden on the rest of us, because I'm sure tax money is paying for this, right? So it's a spacious place with areas where students can sit and talk. Oh, that's great. So not only do you get rewarded for being a lazy person with free food, but you also get a place to go and talk about your laziness. Wow, where can I sign up? And it's got blenders, too. Oh, I can make a smoothie. I can go in there and grab the free fruits and put them together and make a smoothie. Do they have a free massage parlor, too? I mean, you get that. You got everything. How about a movie theater that's free? Why don't we have everything free, right? Just make everything free. Everything. I want to go to university. Wow, you got free back and foot rubs? Oh, boy, because, of course, I need that, right? Just like I need the free food. And you know that's coming in the future, by the way. Oh, my classes are so stressful. You mean life? Life, which you're not used to and you can't deal with, and that's why you call it stress, something that doesn't exist, really. It's called life, Pinhead. Oh, my life is so hard. Oh, I just had a long exam. I need a back rub. Well, we got a massage parlor right down there. We'll only tack on another $10,000 a year to your cost of education. Oh, well, I'm not paying for it, so what the hell? What the hell, right? I like the ability to essentially defer gratification, and I can't think to the future. So, yeah, sure, tack on another 10 grand. I can't even conceptualize 10 grand, let alone what that's going to cost me in 10 years, right, with interest. So why not, right? I want it now, baby. Give it to me now. Instant gratification, right? It's a spacious place where students can sit and talk. If they want, they can read cookbooks or try to make any of 15 varieties of pumpkin, spinach, parsley, to try to grow their own produce. They provide seeds. So not only is this like a grocery store and a lounge, but they also provide seeds to help people grow food. Grow where? What am I going to have, a window box growing tomatoes? What is this nonsense? What fantasy land is this? It means the world to me knowing that there are people who will fight for students like me, said Rankin, 18, who was a sophomore, majoring in public health policy and educational science. Oh, God. Educational science. Look at the state of affairs in America. This is all designed by people who studied educational science. Do you really think that's a useful subject? Health policy, public health policy. How about you don't take a dump in the street? That's pretty good public health policy, huh? It doesn't take more than common sense to understand public health policy. Don't piss and crap in the street of the city you live in. Well, there you go. God, public health. Another useful idiot being churned out here. Why don't you study something useful, pal, like engineering or computer science or something like that? Something people can actually use, right? And by the way, knowing that there are people fighting for you, pal, why don't you try fighting for yourself, huh? Why don't you try fighting for yourself? Again, when I was a young guy, had to work, parents had to work, you had to earn your keep or you had no keep. That's it. Now everybody wants others to earn it for them. Yes, you need to be your brother's keeper. God forbid you actually think about looking out for yourself. Then you might become an independent person who thinks independently and thinks for yourself, who we can't manipulate. The expansive food pantry is part of the UC Global Food Initiative, a 3-year push to tackle the problem of food insecurity. Well, that's a new term. I've never heard of that one before. Food insecurity? Is the food insecure? Does it not feel good enough about itself? What is this nonsense, food insecurity? So they've to conquer the problem of people not having enough food. They've turned it into this little catchphrase, food insecurity. Yes. Created by some brilliant social scientist, no doubt, both at home and abroad. I'm insecure in terms of food. Yeah, I don't have enough food because I'm too lazy to get a job. I see. A system-wide survey last year found 4 in 10 students did not have a consistent source of high-quality, nutritious food. Blah, blah, dee, blah, blah, blah. Try living on ramen soup that costs 50 cents a packet or a quarter a packet. Try living on that, huh? Then you'll really learn to appreciate and value effort and work and money and your labor. Insufficient source of high-quality, nutritious food. Whoop-de-freaking-doo-dah! The survey of 9,000 students, believed to be the nation's largest look at campus food security. The survey of 9,000, it's the largest survey ever done. Believed to be the nation's largest look at campus food security. What? This is a new thing, campus food security. Yeah, let's create a new social ill that more money needs to be allocated for. Yeah, because we're not all in debt enough as it is, right? Our great-great-great-grandkids are not already in enough debt. And meanwhile, I'm looking at the kids in this picture. They look pretty well fed to me. I get suspicious and a little skeptical when people tell me, oh, there's food insecurity, meaning there's not enough food, right? I'm going to translate into common nomenclature, human speak. There's not enough food. These kids don't get enough food. I'm looking at this picture. I don't see anybody starving. I don't see any big, giant, bloated bellies in this picture. I see a bunch of pretty well-fed kids, all right? And even the thin broad's got a gut there. The one in the green shirt there, walking by the produce table there, she's got a little bit of a gut. Ain't none of these people suffering from malnutrition. What are you talking about? Maybe that guy there in the background between the Asian girl and the chick with the green shirt, he's there in the background with the white shirt on, and he looks like he might be suffering from a little bit, but I think that's just from eating too many soy products. He's just a soy boy. He's just a skinny little spindly soy boy. It's not because he's not getting enough food. I love this. I love it. They tell you one thing, but the reality is very different. Oh, they don't have enough food. A bunch of overweight people walking around. Really? Why don't you go tell that to these little kids starving in Africa, okay, with their big bloated bellies, okay? That's malnutrition, not these people, these privileged people. Give me a break. Yes. Yeah, 1/3 have difficulty studying. So it goes on to say that the food shortage causes them to have difficulty studying. Yeah, you're hungry. Get a job. Anyway, found that nearly 1/3 of those in need. Why are they in need? See, this is the question. Why are they in need, right? Didn't they put themselves in this situation? They could have went and got a job. They could have got a job at any of the wonderful Burger Kings, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A's that exist. They could have got a job mopping the floors at the local mall. Do malls exist anymore? Well, anyway, you probably need a college degree for that now, too. But, that's the reality of life. You make choices. You wanted to go to university? Guess what? That entails some deprivation, okay? If you're poor, all right? If you're poor and you're borrowing tons of money, right? Against your future, you're leveraging your future to go to university, and essentially you're having to borrow all this money, stands to reason that you might have to suffer a little bit, right? Right, I mean, you might have to live a bit of an austere lifestyle for a while, right? No, I grew up privileged! Compared to the rest of the people in the world, even the most poor people in America are privileged, okay? I had all the food I could eat, and I had an iPad, an Obama phone, and internet, and now I'm at university, and oh my God, everything's so expensive, and I'm hungry. Get a job, do something. Go gather friggin' cans. You can't go around into alleys. I mean, whatever happened to American gumption, right? You needed money, you made money. You needed to produce something, you produced it, because if you didn't produce it, you would die, right? Go collect aluminum cans. Aren't you good for that? Well, guess what? You go hungry. It's called reality. I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't, wouldn't, couldn't. I should not have to do that. Yeah, right. Okay. You're going to argue with how things are, or you're going to actually get off your ass and do something to make things better in your life. I don't have to now. They're giving me free stuff. Oh, God. Oh, Lord have mercy. So, yeah, they had difficulty studying. No, we can't have that because of hunger, and that 1/4 had to choose between paying for food or for educational expenses and housing. How is this my problem? You chose to go to university. It's not a requirement. And you'll probably, by the way, make more money these days if you don't, okay? Because the useless things that people study, like this guy, educational science, yeah, okay. Become a plumber, for God's sake. I don't know, something useful. Jesus, plumbers can make good money. You make 6 figures as a plumber, or an electrician, or a carpenter. There's a big need for these type of skilled labor jobs. I don't want to have to work with my hands. I'm too good for that. Well, that remains to be seen. But regardless, you're not so good that you deserve free stuff, okay? Nobody is. And by the way, if everybody took care of themselves, there would be no need for food pantries like this. Well, we can't teach people that because we got a lot of people out there running around and want to virtue signal and feel good by helping people. Of course, we have to help them help people to get their fix, their heroin junkie high from their altruism by providing places like this to give free food to people so that they become essentially enabled. Leeches, addicted to a system of free goodies, and therefore they become adults who have no ability to produce anything of value. Yeah, great idea, great idea. Oh boy, if you're going to choose to sit on your ass for 4 years and do nothing, produce nothing, no labor that anybody wants to pay you for because it has no value, because you're just sitting there, that's not labor. I mean, your labor for you to improve your mind and everything, to learn things that will make you valuable, that will give you human capital, but you have none yet, and you're not using it in a way where you have learned to produce anything of value. You're just sitting there, you're learning. There's input going on, but no output. So, yeah. You're a big gaping hole that's sucking in money at this point, okay? Yeah, it's no surprise that you're going to have to be deprived sometimes and live a bit of an austere lifestyle. Oh, that's a problem! Really? I don't see it as a problem. I see it as a teaching tool, okay? So that people learn what it means to be deprived because of their lack of action, thereby incentivizing them to act. Oh, we can't have that. We need a bunch of useful idiots who we can buy the votes of by giving them free stuff, and we need to make them reliant on us for that to work. Across the system, campuses have opened food pantries, arranged emergency funding, started organic gardens, and participated in swipe out hunger programs that allow students to donate extra money on their meal plans to students in need. Oh, boy. Indiscriminate altruism. You gotta love it, right? You're a drunk? You're a drug addict? You're homeless because of your own decisions? Doesn't matter. We're not going to delineate between you and the person who's in that position through no fault of their own. We'll give you both money equally. At UC Irvine, students approved a fee of $3 per quarter last year to help needy students obtain nutritious food. Great. It's already costing students. Not only is it costing taxpayers in some way, I'm sure, but also their fellow students have to pay for them. Great. Incentivize loserdom. That's wonderful. UC Irvine officials are using Napolitano's funds and the $150,000 in annual revenue from the fee to create and equip the new pantry, hire staff. Oh, great. Yeah, we're creating jobs that don't produce anything, so they're really just sucking money out of the system, but hey. Hire staff and provide classes on nutrition, cooking, and financial planning. Classes on nutrition? Just you're hungry, eat something. What do you need a class on nutrition for? Well, we people who are teaching the class, we gotta have some way to make money off our useless degrees, don't you know? Oh boy, at UCI we are trying to set the standard for what campuses and communities around the nation should do. That's idealism. That's somebody's own conceptualization, abstract idea of how they think reality should be, regardless of how reality actually works or the price that would have to be paid to implement their policies. It's not reality. Doesn't make sense. It won't work in reality. But it's how I want things to be and how I think they should be. I love this stuff, man. This is great. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Said Thomas A. Parham. When students went inside, they gaped at the array of food. Yeah. They're like, holy shit. Why do we even need jobs? We'll just stay in university forever and have all this free stuff. Rice, beans, chicken, tuna, vegetables, peanut butter, soups, packages of vegetables, tikka, masala, dried Korean noodles, and tortilla chips. Jeez, they got better food than I do when I work. Wonderful. Baskets filled with produce, watermelons, potatoes, apples, tomatoes. Drew oohs and ah. I'm shocked. I don't have access to this stuff. What is this? Potatoes, apples, tomatoes. This costs a lot of money where I am. Produce ain't cheap, especially Red Delicious. Jesus Christ. These kids are getting Red Delicious apples for free. Can I see your student ID, please? Here you go. Fill up your basket. Oh, potatoes. I can make curly fries, said Anna Maria Cuevas, who's probably a slob. She's probably very overweight, I don't doubt. Show me a picture of her. Why don't you show me a picture of Anna Maria Cuevas? Oh, in the New World Order, 150 pounds when you're 5'2" and a woman isn't overweight. No! Body positivity! It's okay to be fat, and thereby we don't even recognize fat when we see it, and we don't see anything odd with somebody who's 150 pounds and 5'2" need to go to a free food pantry to get food because they're somehow starving. Why don't you go a few days without food and feed on some of that fat you got going on there? Oh no, I can't do that. I would have to suffer some. Fridges were stocked with cheese, milk, yogurt, mushrooms. What is this, a gourmet restaurant? What is this? Is this a gourmet supermarket? What the hell? Tofu? Yeah, great. Make some more soy boys. That's all we need. Frozen pasta and vegetables. In the kitchenette area, culinary education director Jessica Von Roo demonstrated the art of making Vietnamese spring rolls. You college students. You're lucky if you get Hot Pockets. What is all this? Yeah. If you get these kids used to this kind of bounty and plenty for free, they're going to come to expect it in adulthood. And when they don't get it, what are they going to do? They're going to vote for bigger government, more entitlement, so they continue to get free stuff. Don't people understand this? You're just making things worse. You're just making things worse by coddling these kids this way. Not to mention taking money out of my pocket because I pay taxes. Oh my God. If you don't know how to make food, we can show you. You ever heard of a sandwich? Make a sandwich. How hard is that? Bread, cheese, meat. Eat it. I'm too good for a sandwich. She goes on to say, you can get free food, but if you don't know how to cook, it's a struggle. Heat a pan. Get a microwave. You can cook potatoes. Put a potato in the microwave. It cooks everything. The campus's basic needs director, Andrea Gutierrez, another made-up job who will oversee the food pantry, said nearly 44% of UC Irvine students lack consistent access to nutritious food. Again, I don't care, not my problem. Somebody skinned their knee over in Afghanistan, also not my problem. Nearly 19% of these students are forced to skip meals and go hungry. And I didn't see anybody in those pictures that looked like they were going hungry. While 25% eat regularly but get by on cheap but such non-nutritious food as instant ramen or fast food. You look at somebody who was like that, and I'm a successful human being in life, okay? Nobody pays for anything of mine, okay? I have zero debt. Zero debt! How many people out there have zero debt? No credit card debt. No any kind of debt. I pay for everything in cash, okay? I do well in life. Zero welfare. I worked for everything I have. Why don't you pinheads try it? Why don't you get over your, I'm studied, I have a book, see? Yeah, but if you have no food, you need to go out and do something. There is no should, okay? There is just what you must do. But now you don't have to because, these people are going to enable you to continue to be somebody who doesn't have to live in reality until you have to. But they want to extend. You see, these kids, these college students, and these socialists who are enabling them, they want to extend childhood far into adulthood. Something like 1/3 of kids under the age of 30 now are living with their parents still. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. What about that case recently of that bearded, neck-beard guy who was like 30 years old? His parents had to sue him to get him out of their house. Good God, what's happening? We're teaching kids not to take care of themselves. The exact opposite of what we're actually supposed to do. Ramen. I lived on ramen. I'm doing okay. I'm doing better than okay because I learned valuable lessons that taught me how to be self-sufficient and productive. I can go anywhere in the world and I'll be able to take care of myself. That's how self-sufficient I am. I won't know the language or anything, but I'll be able to get by, baby, because I learned life the hard way. I underwent hard lessons, you see, that made me tough, that made me resilient, which made me able to adapt and do what's necessary to survive. These kids, I'm going to give you free food forever and then I'm going to take it away suddenly, and what are you going to do? You're going to die. You won't be able to take care of yourself. No, you're going to moan and groan for the government to continue giving you free stuff. So to people who dismiss the food problem and believe instant ramen is a college staple, Gutierrez said a student should not eat top ramen and be malnourished. What do you mean should? What should they do? Based on, what do you mean should? Should not have to. Why? Why? It's reality. I shouldn't have to breathe. Breathing is hard. It takes waste physical effort on my part. I should get a machine that does it for me. I just shouldn't have to breathe at all, right? Y'all stop breathing. I die. What do you mean should? There's certain realities of life that should has nothing to do with. Of course, you don't know what those are, right? Because you're an idiot. You're an idealist. You live in here, not out here. Ay. We can no longer accept that as reality. Reality doesn't care whether you accept it or not. The rock doesn't care that you don't accept it as a rock. It's still a rock, and it's going to continue to be exactly what it is forever, regardless of whether or not you accept it as being that or not. Students will be allowed to take home 2 bags of groceries a week. Oh my God. After they certify that they understand the food is meant for those who can't afford meals. Right. Because I'm sure everybody coming in is just so honest, right? Because people don't lie. Women don't lie. Men lie sometimes. Women don't lie. And everybody coming in, you don't have to check anything about them. Oh, no, all they have to do is attest to the fact that, hey, you can't afford food. A lot of people who can eat, who can afford food, but they don't want to spend the money. It's more convenient. They'll rationalize it to themselves. Well, I'm a student too. My mom and dad pay taxes too. I shouldn't have to spend my own money. It's not fair that they get treated special just because they don't have enough because they made bad decisions, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll go in and say, yeah, I can't afford food either. And they'll get 2 big bags of groceries for free. Yeah, nobody's going to abuse that. It's just an honor system. Yeah, on your word. Yeah, you claim that you don't have enough money, right? All you have to do is go in and say, I can't afford it. Give me some free stuff. No proofs needed. Of course, how do you prove a negative, right? So, yeah, I got to prove to you that I can't afford it? Of course not. Here you go. Here's some free stuff. Because nobody would come in and say they're poor and can't afford it, right? There's shame in that. Where? You get patted on the back these days for being a poor loser because you're an automatic victim and member of an oppressed class. Yeah. Unless you're white, of course. Guillermo Paez, a 5th-year sociology major. 5th year? Jesus Christ. This person's making a career out of college. Sociology, a useless subject. Totally useless. Said he and other students struggling to find food often hide their problem. I'd like to see his picture, too. This is the problem. The left teaches people to see words as reality, thoughts as reality, not reality as reality. So when I'm confronted with some fat guy and they tell me that he's malnutrition, I don't buy it because I'm not a subjectivist, okay? I'm a realist. I live in reality. I don't go to words and abstract ideas that inform me about reality. Reality informs me about reality. Of course, these pinhead college students, words, thoughts, ideas, that's reality to them. So you tell them this guy's malnourished. They look at him and say, oh, you poor guy, here's some food. You're only 100 pounds overweight. They don't even think about that. Oh, he must be malnourished because he said he was. Somebody told me he was. Ridiculous. When he was a freshman, he could not pay a $3,000 balance on his university bill and lost his meal plan. Get a job. You should have gotten a job. Try getting a job. Sociology, useless. At first, he didn't even tell his mother, who works as a motel maid. She has a job. Why don't you have a job? You could get a job. You could wait tables. I waited tables. I washed dishes. I did a whole bunch of stuff to get myself through college, to get myself through school. What are you doing? I love this mentality. That's my job. University's my job. I shouldn't have to work. He lived on such meager fare as carrots and peanut butter, and his grades plunged, he said, because he could not concentrate. Don't knock peanut butter, huh? I would love to right now have a jar of Chunky right here. And I bet those starving kids in Africa would love to have a jar of Chunky peanut butter. So don't you knock Chunky peanut butter as if you're too good for peanut butter. Besides, you could probably do to lose the weight, huh? Yeah. You should be on an all-protein diet. Yeah, eat a lot more peanut butter. It's probably good for you. Even if it's not, so what? That's what you can afford, right? And you want to afford more, work. Eventually, he let his mother know, and she scraped together the money to pay the bill. Really? You're entitled. Your whole generation is entitled. You all walk around thinking shoulda, woulda, coulda. I shouldn't have to. I should have to. I shouldn't. Usually I shouldn't have to. When is it ever I should have to, right? Do you have any actual responsibilities as a human being to your own welfare, or is it on everybody else, right? You're an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, but still you have no responsibility to take care of yourself and provide for yourself. You got to put everything on your mommy, on the state, on the government. You have no agency. You can take care of yourself. You can't do anything to improve your life and feed yourself. I disagree. So many things you people could do. Go out to the suburbs, get on your bike, because you're a poor student who has no car, right? And plenty of these students have cars, but they say they can't afford to eat. Get in your car, drive out to the suburbs, and offer to cut people's lawns, right? Oh, I'm too good for that. Yeah. Get a job as a dishwasher. Again, I'm a college student. I'm too good for that. I'm studying sociology. So the problem here is not a shortage of food. It's a lack of character and integrity among today's youth. They don't have the character. They don't have the inner strength. They don't have the American traditional values of hard work and grit and put your nose to the grindstone. They don't have the gumption required to deal with the hard times and the possible deprivation and suffering. Kids today can't suffer. But the truth of the matter is, in reality, suffering is a part of life. And if you don't learn how to deal with it, if you don't learn how to deal with the minor everyday sufferings and the suffering that comes from the possibility of having to defer gratification, then you'll never be successful, right? Because you'll never put aside the short-term gains for the possible, probable long-term greater gains that you'll get in the future by delaying that gratification. The ability to delay gratification and understand the future consequence of your current actions is a hallmark indicator of how successful you will be as a person. If you can't do that, well, you might be following your mother in her career as a motel maid. But at least then, you'll be able to pay your own bills and buy your own food. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and check out my Patreon podcast where you can get much, much more of this type of content, but in a more raw, even more real way, if that is possible, which it is, and you should check it out. So the links are below. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.